Okay, guys, so we are still talking about interactive reading in the Duolingo exam. Just to remind you guys, when I say interactive reading, I mean complete the sentences module, complete the passage module, highlight the answer, identify the idea, and finally title the passage. So I have to say that this is the meaning of interactive reading and all these 5 modules under the name of interactive reading. As we noticed, we have finished talking and practicing complete the sentences module, and we have finished again talking about completing the passage module. Now it's the time to discuss highlight the answer module. And as usual, guys, I have to show you the directions. Then I have to discuss the tips. After that, absolutely, we are going to practice highlight the answer. So let me open the file and we have to start. This is it exactly. This is reading, and this is interactive reading. And now we are discussing the third module of interactive reading, which is highlight the answer. Okay. Now, guys, highlight the answer asks you to click and drag the text to highlight the answer to the question below. You will see a question on screen. Then you will find and highlight the answer within the passage itself. So as I told you, we have 7 to 8 minutes for all 6 questions. And as usual, I'm going to give you only 1 minute just to highlight the answer. If you need more time, you can pause the video, but please consider the real time in the Duolingo exam. So this is it. This is the exact page that is going to be shown to you. So click and drag text to highlight the answer to the question below. And notice that we have here a question, which is, for example, how does building construction impact the environment? So absolutely, I have to read just to be able to know the correct answer. Let me tell you something, guys, about highlighting the answer. We have 2 skills we should consider. The first skill is skim. The second skill is scan. Let me show you the difference between skim and skim and scan, because you have to apply them in the Duolingo exam, especially in reading. Okay, the meaning of skimming is to read fast to get the main idea of the passage. But scan means to read fast to look for specific information. Okay, and if you want to look for specific information, you have to look for the keywords that are mentioned in the question. So please consider these 2 skills because it is really important. And now in identify the answer, I have to scan because I have to read fast just to look for specific information only. Okay, so now I have to mention the tips. Let me erase my screen and let me show you the tips you have to consider in answering this module, which is identify the correct answer. Now, be precise, but thorough or complete in your selection. And make sure to highlight only the answer, please, to the question asked. I mean, guys, it's not a must to highlight the full sentence. Maybe, guys, the answer is going to be only 2 words. So it's not a must again to highlight a complete sentence. Maybe the answer is going to be a phrase. Maybe the answer is only about 2 words. So please be careful. So I don't have to highlight too much or too little. So once you highlight the text, it will appear in the box below here. So while highlighting, for example, everything you highlight is going to be shown here in the box. it will appear in the box below. The answer, okay, so you can read it in context. If you want to change your highlighting, you can click and drag again your cursor. This is the meaning of cursor on the screen again to highlight. Be sure the answer you want is in the box before clicking next. So please, you have to make sure that the answer is here. The correct answer is here before you click next. Then this button is going to turn just to be orange. Absolutely. After that, you can press next. By the way, let me show you. Let me show you here. So this is it. This is the page, and this is the way that I have to highlight the answer. When I highlight the answer, notice that the answer is going to be shown here in the box. So many people told him not to go. So many people told him not to go. After making sure that here you have selected the correct answer, you can now press next. Okay. This is it. As I told you, now I think it's the time to practice. As usual, I'm going to give you 1 minute. You can pause the video, guys, if you need more time. I'm going to specify, as I told you, as only 1 minute. But you have to consider the real time in the exam, please. So it's the time to practice, and let me show you now passage number 1. Time starts. Okay, guys, time's up. Now let me show you the correct answers of these two questions. We notice, guys, that question number 1 is before jewelers learn to cut gems. Okay, notice that the question is saying, at what point were pearls more valuable than diamonds? All the time, guys, as I told you, because you have to scan, you have to search for keywords in the passage just to read fast. We notice, guys, that here we have what? More valuable. This is it, greater value. The writer is not going to show you the exact words that you have to search in the passage. All the time, he's going to mention antonyms, synonyms maybe, or maybe he's going, or she is going to give you a certain example or definition. So please be careful, because we are not at school for the writer to mention the exact words that you have to search in the text. After finding the keyword, you have to go back to the beginning of the sentence. Now, in the beginning of the sentence, we have before jewelers learned to cut gems, okay, the pearl was of greater value than the diamond, So the answer is, at what point were pearls more valuable? It is before jewelers learned to cut gems. It is the same of the second question, who. Notice that who is talking about people. What, to ask about things. When, to ask about time. Where, to ask about places. Which, to ask about things. How far, to ask about distance. How long, to ask about time. Be careful about the WH tools or questions. Who attempted to prevent people from wearing pearls. We notice here, guys, we have what? Prevent. And the second synonym of prevent is what? Prohibited. So the meaning of prohibit is what? Is prevent. So notice that the writer here is mentioned what? mentioned a synonym. So this is the word that I have to search in the passage. When I find it, absolutely, as I told you, I have to go back to the beginning of the sentence like this. So Allah in 1612, drawn up by the kings of empire, this is it, prohibited anyone, this is the second meaning of people, anyone who wasn't royalty from wearing pearls. So the answer is the kings of Europe. Okay, guys, so this is the way that I have to scan the passage, please. And notice that the kings of Europe, it's not a complete sentence. So please, guys, notice that the answer shouldn't be a complete sentence all the time. You only have to select the correct words. Notice that not too much, not to select two sentences, for example, and absolutely not too little. You have only to select the correct one. And if you notice that the note or tip number one in the beginning was saying be precise in selecting the answer. So please, I have to be precise. Now, let me show you the next passage. And as usual, I have to mention 1 minute to be able to answer the question or questions that we have in the passage. Time starts. Okay, guys, so the 1 minute is finished. And as I told you, if you need more time, you can pause the video. But again, you have to be careful about the real time in the real exam. So these are the correct answers of these questions. What has the author learned from his or her father? Now notice that here, guys, I have taught. So taught is the past of teach. So notice that he taught him, his father or her father taught him, okay, taught him what? Almost everything I know, from personal parts of life to my academic and personal life. So this is the answer of the first question. Now, question number two. What was the father one of the first people to do in his country? So we notice, guys, that the answer is computer science education. Let me tell you something again about synonyms. Notice the meaning of one of the first people is what? Is pioneer. So what was that one? This is it was one. What was that one? That the writer, the father of the writer, just maybe was professional about something to do. What is that thing in his country, in my country? So what was that thing? It was what? Computer science education. So notice only three words. Again, it's not a must to select the full sentence. Maybe the answer is going to be a phrase, or maybe a few words only. So this is it. Now let me show you the next passage. And as usual, 1 minute is going to be specified. If you need more time, you can pause the video and complete the practicing. So time starts. Okay, guys, I hope that you have finished and selected the correct answer. So let me show you the correct answers that I have to highlight. So question number one is saying, what did scientists previously believe? So we notice that scientists previously believed, okay, believed what? So scientists in Germany have cast doubt on a previously believed assumption that, that what? The process or the processing speed of our brain starts to decline from the age of 20. So notice that previously believe is the keyword, and I have to search for that in the real passage. Why do older people take longer time to make decisions? So notice that the reason for taking longer time to make decisions, this is it. Do take the older people, this is older people, do take longer time to make decisions. Okay. Why? The reason is, this is it. The reason is, okay, for taking this long period of time was because, we have why. And here we have because, okay, because of what? Because they become more cautious as they age. So this is it. This is the way that I have to scan the passage to match the keywords and to select only the correct words. And as I told you, I have to be precise. So now it's the time to practice. Passage number 4, time starts. Okay, guys, so time's up. Now, these are the correct answers of these two questions. So the question is saying, how did the author know the cooking course was good? How did you know? How did he know that it was really good? So this is it. Good for me. This is the keyword I have to search. And absolutely, I have to read the full sentence. We notice that in the beginning is he. I had never taken any cooking lessons, nor followed recipes correctly, so it is no wonder I was bad. I have always been a fan of taking classes online. So last month, this is did, the simple past, I thought it would be good for me. Okay, was good. How? To take an online cooking course. Okay, again, how? Because former students had written fantastic reviews about this course. So this is the correct answer of question number 1. Question number 2 is, how did, again, the author, the writer, feel after each class? So we notice that even if every class, after every class, left me, okay, left him or her, what? More and more confident. So this is it after each class. This is the keyword. Every class, this is the keyword. And I told you that I have to read from the beginning of the sentence just to be able to select the correct, to highlight, sorry, the correct answer. And notice that it's not a must to be a complete sentence all the time. Yes, this is, let me say that this is a complete sentence, yes, but this is not a complete sentence. So it's not a must to select complete sentences all the time, please, I have to be precise in selecting the correct answer. Now, let me show you the passage number 5, and time starts. Okay, time's up. Now, these are the correct answers. And notice that the answer of question number 1 is only 2 words. Okay, the question is saying, how often does this tradition take place? The meaning of take place is happen. So we notice that April Fool's Day, this is tradition. Now, so notice that this tradition means April Fool's Day is on the 1st of April. Okay, when or how often? Every year. So this is the answer of question number 1. 2. What might happen if you play a joke after midday? Absolutely, this is a key word. I have to search in the passage. This is midday. After midday. Okay. And absolutely, I have to go back to the beginning of the sentence. If you play a trick, this is it, play a trick or joke. So notice that here, the writer mentioned a trick, but in the question, I have a synonym, which is joke. So please, it's not a must all the time for the writer just to show you or to write the exact word that is mentioned in the text, please. So, trick, joke on someone, on people. Okay. After midday, okay, what might happen? You will receive bad luck. This is the full stop, which is just to mention the ending of the sentence. So this is the correct answer I have to select. So this is it. I hope that you have fully answered the questions. It's not that hard, but as I told you, please, you have to scan the passage. You have to look for keywords. You have to search for specific information only, and you have to be precise in selecting the answer. It's not a must all the time for the answer to be a complete sentence, maybe a phrase or maybe a few words as we noticed in every year. Thank you so much, guys, and good luck.